Welcome to the deep dive, and this is our Science Corner segment. Perfect if you're, an intellectually curious amateur scientist.
And today we're diving into something really fascinating. It's this incredible piece of furniture, Olivier Gomez's Wormhole coffee table.
Right? It sounds kind of strange, a coffee table and science, but it's this amazing crossroads of woodworking, art, and honestly, some pretty mind-bending theoretical physics concepts.
Exactly. It really makes you think about these big ideas, but in a physical form you can actually see.
So for this exploration, we've looked at quite a bit. There was this Reddit thread where people were trying to figure out what this table even was. We looked at Olivier Gomez's own website, of course, to see his work.
A very talented craftsman.
Definitely. Then there's a great article from Yanko Design that goes into detail on the table itself.
And the science behind it.
Yeah, and just for context, a piece from Wallpaper about a different but similarly themed exhibition.
And naturally, we need to ground ourselves in the actual science. So we've drawn on Wikipedia for the basics of wormhole theory.
Exactly. So if you're someone who loves learning quickly, getting those aha moments without getting bogged down, this should be perfect. A concise but hopefully insightful look.
Okay, so where did this specific table first pop up? It seems it started quite organically on Reddit.
Yeah, on the Our Woodworking subreddit, a user, Empower738, posted asking if anyone recognized a video they'd seen around Christmas.
What was the description?
They described it as this black walnut table, but chopped up into cubes, glued back together, and then turned on a lathe into this kind of internal cone shape. Pretty distinctive.
Wow, okay. I can see why that would stick in someone's mind.
And the Reddit community, well, they were on it fast. Someone quickly posted the YouTube link.
Ah, the power of the internet.
Right, and identified the maker as Olivier Gomez. Apparently, lots of people were seeing this video pop up in their YouTube recommendations, too.
So it was getting some traction already. Interesting.
Yeah. And people were already calling it things like the wormhole table or relativity table. They sort of intuitively got the physics connection.
That is interesting. Did anyone elaborate?
Yeah, one comment specifically said it's like a representation of space-time bending to bring 2 points close, or folded space wormhole. Pretty insightful for a comment section.
Absolutely nails the core idea Gomez was likely aiming for.
And someone else just practically said, hey, just Google wormhole wood table if you want to find it. Simple, but effective.
Huh, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the direct approach works best. But what was the general feeling about the table itself on the thread?
Oh, huge admiration. People were blown away by the craftsmanship, the sheer complexity of making that shape.
I can imagine. Segmented turning on that scale
Yeah.
with that kind of geometry. It's advanced stuff.
Definitely. There were even some comments expressing a bit of nervousness about the lathe work, how dangerous it looked, which kind of underscores how difficult people perceived it to be.
It certainly demands respect for the process and the potential hazards. So that naturally leads us to the creator himself, Olivier Gomez.
Right. Looking at his website, you see he's a serious wood turner, a furniture maker. He's got categories like wood turnings, furniture, even pens, and commissioned work.
It shows a real breadth of skill.
Mm-hmm.
And looking through his portfolio, you get a sense of, well, a mix between traditional techniques, that real know-how, but with a very modern design aesthetic.
Yeah, it's not just rustic woodworking. There's a real clean, contemporary feel to a lot of it.
He clearly respects the wood, the material, but isn't afraid to push into these really innovative forms like the table.
And his pieces are available. You can buy them or request quotes for custom projects through his site.
Good to know. So let's focus back on this specific piece, the Wormhole coffee table. The Yanko Design article really dove into it.
It did. They explained the inspiration came directly from the concept of a wormhole, or as physicists sometimes call it, an Einstein-Rosen bridge.
Which, we should stress, is a hypothetical structure. It comes out of the maths of Einstein's theories, but we haven't, actually found one.
Right. A theoretical shortcut through spacetime. But Gomez has managed to give this super abstract idea a physical presence.
That's the art of it, isn't it? Taking the theoretical and making it somehow tangible.
The shape is described as like a plank of wood that's been bent, so the two ends are on the top surface, joined by this kind of double cone in the middle.
It's a very fluid, unusual form.
Yeah.
And how did he actually build it?
Painstakingly, it sounds like. The article says it uses dozens of air-dried black walnut strips,
Okay.
cut precisely, then glued together, but with thin maple veneer sandwiched in between each strip.
Ah, so that's what creates that grid pattern you see on the surface.
Clever.
Yeah.
And they really emphasize the mathematical precision needed for all those cuts, especially to get the curves right.
I bet. Any slight error would throw the whole thing off.
And then, after gluing it all up into a block, there was apparently a lot of machining involved to carve out those smooth, final curves. It's not just gluing blocks together, it's sculpting.
A huge amount of work and skill. A real labor of love, it seems.
And he even put a lamp inside the central hole.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yanko Design mentioned it enhances the sort of sci-fi vibe, especially when the lights are lower.
Nice touch. Adds to the whole wormhole aesthetic.
But they do make the point, objects dropped in don't actually disappear and reappear somewhere else.
Yeah. Yes. Probably important to clarify. It's art, not actual physics manipulation.
So let's pivot to the science itself for a moment. What is a wormhole, according to theoretical physics, if we look at the Wikipedia overview?
Okay, so fundamentally, it's conceived as a kind of tunnel, a shortcut connecting two different points in space-time.
Space-time being that four-dimensional fabric of the universe Einstein described.
Exactly. These wormholes pop out as potential solutions to Einstein's field equations, the equations that describe gravity as the curvature of space-time caused by mass and energy.
So the math allows for these tunnel-like structures under certain conditions.
Theoretically, yes. The common visualization, though it's just an analogy, is like taking a 2D sheet of paper, marking two distant points, and then folding the paper over to bring the points close. The wormhole would be the tunnel connecting them through the higher dimension, so to speak.
A useful image, even if it simplifies things.
Very much so. And the term itself, wormhole, was coined by the physicist John Archibald Wheeler back in 1957, though the underlying ideas were around earlier.
Right. And Wikipedia mentions different theoretical types. Schwarzschild wormholes, traversable ones, Einstein-Rosen bridges.
Yes, there are various theoretical models. Some are static, some might collapse instantly, some are purely mathematical constructs. The really interesting ones, theoretically, are traversable wormholes, ones you could potentially go through.
But that's where it gets really speculative, right?
Extremely. We need to be very clear. There is zero observational evidence that wormholes actually exist. It's all theoretical exploration at this point.
And there are big theoretical problems, too.
Huge ones. Like to keep a traversable wormhole stable and open, the theories often suggest you need something called exotic matter.
Exotic matter.
Yeah, basically matter with properties, unlike anything we know, specifically negative mass or negative energy density.
Yeah.
Stuff that would essentially push space-time apart instead of pulling it together like normal gravity.
And we haven't found any of that.
Not directly.
Well,
No. There are some quantum effects that might involve negative energy densities on very small scales, but nothing like what would be needed to prop open a macroscopic wormhole.
so still very much in the realm of science fiction tropes like faster than light travel or time travel, which sometimes get linked to wormholes.
Precisely. Those are exciting ideas often explored in fiction using wormholes as a plot device, but scientifically, they remain highly, highly speculative.
Okay, so bringing it back to Gomez's table. It's definitely an artistic interpretation, not a working model.
Absolutely. And that's its beauty, I think. It uses this incredibly complex, precise craft woodworking to represent an equally complex, almost fantastical scientific idea.
It really is that aha moment connection. You see the table, you hear wormhole, and suddenly you're thinking about space-time curvature while admiring the joinery.
It bridges those worlds, craft and cosmology, in a really unique way. A tangible object prompting thought about the utterly intangible.
Interestingly, we also saw a mention in Wallpaper magazine about another designer, Andy Jacobs, who did an exhibition called Through the Wormhole.
Oh, another artist exploring the same theme.
Yeah, different work, apparently inspired more by music and the digital world, but using that same evocative wormhole concept in furniture design.
Fascinating. It shows the power of the metaphor, doesn't it? That idea of connection, shortcuts, maybe transformation.
Yeah.
It resonates in different creative fields.
Definitely offers a different angle compared to Gomez's more direct interpretation of the physics shape.
And just briefly, touching on Gomez's other work, online forums where woodturners discuss things mention his skill with large segmented projects.
Right, suggesting the wormhole table wasn't a one-off technical feat, but part of a broader mastery of complex techniques.
It points to incredible patience and dedication to the craft. These aren't things you just whip up quickly.
No kidding. So wrapping this up, Olivier Gomez's Wormhole coffee table really is just a stunning piece. It's art inspired by science, craftsmanship embodying theory.
It beautifully prompts us to think about space-time, these grand cosmic ideas, just by looking at a piece of furniture. a remarkable achievement.
And while the table itself is, a representation,
Right.
the actual science of wormholes, that theoretical quest, keeps pushing our understanding of the universe, even if they remain elusive.
It absolutely does. It challenges physicists and captures the public imagination.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other abstract scientific ideas could be visualized, could be made tangible through art or craft in surprising ways?
That's a great thought to leave people with. Exploring that intersection, there's probably a lot of fascinating territory there, both in art and in science.
Definitely something to mull over. Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive.